Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey. Earlier today, we played Cameron with assist by Nikki in a 13 by 13 teaching game. And we're now going to review that again. Okay, so playing on the 3/4 point. I also played on the 3/4 point. Cameron took another 3/4 point. And I took the last corner with a 3/4 point. Now, I am always going to play as basic as I can against my students. So, in this situation, I always think that playing high against the 3/4 stone is best. So, I would either play here or play here, in which case now Black already has the final move of their sequence, so they would be able to play again. Now, playing here, which would be the standard high approach, would be a little bit awkward because you put yourself into a pincher immediately. So, because of that, perhaps something like this would be good. Okay. Now, Cameron actually played this stone first. Okay, so if we went back to this board, we could play that move next. Right? Right, play that here. This would be making an enclosure, a little bit wider enclosure. Or you could do something over here. Okay, but I think something like that would be a good move. Okay, let's go back to what he did. And I of course just did a one space jump. Now, when you make a move on the board, I think it's important that you have an expectation of your opponent. I think if I play here, my opponent is going to play there, and therefore my follow-up is going to be this. Now, if they play perhaps over there, I may adjust what I anticipate as my secondary move, my second move. So in this case, I think this move would be pretty anticipated. So since you make this move, you need to finish the sequence that you have anticipated for this move. Now, perhaps something like this would be in good order. right? To that, perhaps white would do sort of a push below, and then, I don't know, either continue this or do something over here. Perhaps it'd be time for that. Okay. But I would expect that you would have a follow-up move already envisioned, and that since this is an approach on a corner, you should have a sequence. In Go, typically in the opening, Sente shifts between the two people as they play approach moves into the corner. Because it usually ends up that one person has 2 stones in the corner, the other has 2. One person has 3 stones in the corner, the other person has 3. And of course, there's an initial stone, so whoever's playing next, initial stone. So whoever approached is going to end the sequence for both of them, so the other person would then have Sente to approach their corner. And then they would lose Sente. The first person would gain Sente again. So anyways, I would expect that you should have a follow-up move. And perhaps that's good. Because that's high, I don't know that playing something like that looks nearly as good. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. But this is where black played against another corner. Instead of finishing the sequence, played into another corner. And I, of course, kicked. And you would expect black to stand. White, black, then white would have Sente, probably would go over there. And logical progression would be something like this. Now, black could try to fight here. Could go down. Or could go out. I don't know. Something. However, that's not what happened. What happened was black fell back here. Of course, I needed to take advantage of that, as anyone would. The move that is good for your opponent is often good for you. So if they don't take J4, then I would take J4. And they, of course, blocked that. Now I can get a free move under, putting that into a tutty. Now, perhaps playing over the top, letting me take that. Playing here. Getting into the ko would be good. Or something like this would be good. So taking an outside position. Okay, that's possible. Now, filling in. Of course, makes this group very heavy. And of course, when black fills in, white plays to stop that Atari. And of course, white wants to be reaching over towards the other stones in white's framework. Okay, so then black went and did a follow-up move here in the other corner, the original corner. Now, there's some typical things that white could do. That being one of them. You know, it could even go so far as to let that happen. However, this is not really that severe of a move. So white doesn't need to play here. I didn't feel I needed to play there. A better move might have been something like this. And if white did that, I don't know. This black stone is not as weak as you might think. Not from this situation. Anyways. White played this. Black played that. White did a standard approach. Of course, black started off. Okay. Now, all black needed to do was to draw back here. I would have connected because I play basic moves against my opponent. And then black could have taken out my base, which means white would have reached back to his friends. And then black could have reached over towards his friends. Right? That seems to be a sort of logical progression. However, of course, that's not what happened. Black went under. And of course, this gave white lots of opportunity to target black. Okay, so two aspects to being a teacher for me. One is I play basic moves that you would expect. So I follow the normal sequences. If you play in the correct sequence, I will follow in the correct sequence as best I can. This is a 13 by 13 board, so there's a little bit odd. But if you do not follow your corner sequences, I will play sort of the basic move that I would expect an opponent to make. And of course, I just want to make black heavy. I have no expectation of anything grand happening. I am thinking about this stone a little bit. If I can get on this side of it, I feel that would be good for me. But not really thinking about anything over on that side of the board. Now, in this situation, I think stone's not there. I'm not sure what would be best here. I think white probably has a free move. Black probably has a free move here. And then black can do something here. I don't know. Okay. But if white goes over here, black has friends, so it doesn't end well for white necessarily. Okay. It's always difficult to know what people would play when you're not playing normal things. Okay. So I would expect playing up anyways. That would be a very standard kind of move, right? You want to be reaching with your stones over here. And of course, as you move here, that cutting point is going to be protected because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. Okay, so if white fills there, you could simply just go like that, or you could play up. playing up would work well with those two stones over there. But of course, that's not what happened. This, was about what I had thought would be good. Oops. Go back. No. Sorry. Nope, it's not there. Of course, playing here and pushing my stone here. Yeah, another stone there. Is a problem. Because 1, 2, 3 liberties. 1, 2, 3 liberties. Now, if you do that, playing there is not a problem because you can just save it like this. And perhaps white takes that one stone. Okay, then, I don't know, something like that. Okay. Is it correct? Yes. Okay. I don't know what it is about beginning students. They always want to put a stone at the head of a line where you give your opponent an Atari if he goes in that direction, and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or preparing for an Atari if you go in that direction. You're giving your opponent two different directions that they can go, and neither one of them is good for you. You could go here. Maybe that's about as good as you can expect if you want to save these initial 3 stones over here. But of course, I turned here because I would very much like to have those 3 stones. And it's 2 liberties, 2, 1, 2, 3 liberties. Black then goes over the top, thinking perhaps that, white is nearly in a tutty. However, I have 2 liberties to your 2 liberties, so I can just put that group into a tutty. However, I don't need to do that. I can extend in this direction first. Okay. And we come back over here, which is good for black if black is now willing to give up those 3 stones, as well as get into some more pain at the other end. However, it's not playing where the action is. That would be the sensible thing to do. As white can go one more time, you can block it off. Perhaps it'll go this way once, and then it'll probably, I don't know, want to maybe do something down here to threaten the cut there. Or maybe do it there to threaten the cut. It's hard to say. Oh, there's way too many. Let's go. Okay, so what did I do next? Yeah. Okay, so I just pushed up. And of course, black filled that in. And I then pushed again, because this now has 1, 2, 3 liberties. This has 2 liberties. That has 2 liberties. If black were to go here, I would just take those stones. Now, black could go here and make me fill that in. However, white could always do this. Black cuts. Black takes, white takes, and then black has to deal with this, an attack on those 4 stones. And now there's another attack over here. Of course, this is not entirely alive yet. However, if you attack it, white can fight to get out. Okay, so we're back to here. Allowing me to get my nose out even more is not good. Okay, so this is a fairly good move. Okay. Trying to get these stones headed out is a good idea. Now, here, I don't know that I would have gone there. I think there is okay. You've got white threatening to do this. I don't know. This looks pretty bad for these now 5 stones. Okay. So, just speculation as to what could happen. Let's see if it goes back to there. Okay. And I pushed again. And black one again. Now, turning here is trouble for black if black lets me okay. Then we've got what 7 black stones who are dead here. These get to escape, but these fall. Okay, so somewhere along here, we're going to need to sacrifice something. As soon as you realize that something is not going to make it, you need to play so that its sacrifice gains you something. You know you're going to lose it, so force the other person to take it in a way that's advantageous to you. Okay. Now, I'm more interested in these stones in the center. My left side is alive here because I was able to push these stones in that direction. So I've got an eye here. I've got another eye in this area. So I don't need to worry about that, but I'm targeting these stones here. So I need this stone as sort of the direction of my net. Doesn't work out quite as I had anticipated, but not too bad. Okay, now pushing from this direction doesn't really help this group or this side very much. It would be better to place here so that you start to get an eye in this area. Okay. However, it would be better to make a bamboo joint here. Then you kind of have this direction you could go in, or you have this direction you could go in. At some point, these stones are going to be surrounded and have to fill in here. So that gives you an extra move, so to speak. So moving in this direction, trying to get these surrounded so that White has to play here, will give you an extra move to catch something. I'm not sure what White would do here. Maybe White would switch over to this area. I don't know. Complicated. Okay, so remember, this stone is sort of my target. Now, these stones sort of got themselves into a pinch, and liberties were getting a little bit low, so that it was possible that these stones could have been pulled out, which would not have been good for White. Okay, of course. And that doesn't work. Something along those lines does not work. So that's why Black went here. And it was about at this point that I thought, uh-oh. I don't want to go there because black could go there. Oh, I guess that's not a problem. I don't know. I saw something bad. Or maybe it wasn't quite yet. Okay. Oh, no, that was it. This is what I was thinking about. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Okay, so at that point, then I would have to go here. No. What are we doing? Yeah. So I can't play at e4 and then black rescues those stones. I could take this. Okay, so rescued the middle group. So that's what I was afraid of happening. We get back getting point. So I just filled in solidly. Counting liberties. It's important. Black went once more. This, I could go over the top. Because if black cut, so that doesn't work. So black connected. And what did I do next? No, then I connected because this gives me liberties for the fight ahead. Now, of all the things you could do, that was probably not the best thing because I just pushed out. Black goes over the top. And then I cut him off. And now the center group has no place to go. Now, at this point, those are an awful lot of stones to lose in the center. However, there is no easy way out. I, of course, want to secure this area, so I don't want to push you there without the chance of actually killing you. I don't want the dragon to escape. There is no place to go. So, time to make game-saving moves was far, far earlier in the match. Probably around here. Or, yeah, at least there. Kind of the beginning of the end was when you fell down there. And it's sort of flatlined. Right. The position sort of says it all, flatlined. Right. Because you cannot allow white to get out over the top where you want to play is where white's going to play. If you don't play there, white will play there. Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.